Alright, so you have seen how to send information into edit box using send keys method. Now let's try to actually select this checkbox. Okay, when you refresh by default, I don't think you will see this checkbox selected. Yes, if you want to select this checkbox, again spy on that specific item, and then if you carefully observe, these are the HTML properties defined by developer for that specific checkbox. Now your Selenium should exactly go to this point. That's our initial goal, and thereafter what you have to do here, the action you need to perform here is to click, isn't it? In earlier lecture we have handled edit box where you need to enter input. That's the reason you gave send keys, but here the operation what you need is a click. So first how to reach that, and if you carefully observe, there is an ID defined by developer for that specific checkbox. And if you see the list exposed by Selenium, we have ID. That means you can now use find element by ID and simply pass this ID value into the argument of that method, so that Selenium automatically comes to this specific point. Let's see. Driver dot find element, you see that find element by ID. Okay, and the ID here is example check1. Now your cursor will move here with that script whatever you have written till now. After you reach here, your next step is to select this. Okay, dot click, this is the method you have to use. Perfect. So let's run this test very quick and see if that is being clicked, so that now you will understand how to click on any web page using Selenium. You see that it clicked on it. Alright, now the next locator what I want to show here, and one thing what you need to know, you don't know what attributes your specific web element have. So based upon the properties which developer exposed, you have to understand what is the best suitable I can use to handle it. Now for example, for the edit box you cannot use ID. Why? Because developer did not define ID for it. If there is no ID, how will you use this find element by ID? You cannot. That's why you went with name locator, because there is a name property they defined, so that's why you have used that. So by looking at these HTML properties, you need to understand which locator of Selenium can be used to handle that web element. Okay, now for this ID, name not present, and based upon the details I have, okay, here I have class. Yes, I can use class as well, because Selenium also exposed class name. I can use class or I can use ID, isn't it? But I cannot use type because there is no type locator defined. So by reading these properties, you need to understand which is the best to use for that specific element. Now let's handle this email. Alright, email again have same name property, and you also have class property. So here I want to bring a concept called XPath and CSS in this lecture, which is very important. So firstly, let's try to understand why they are important compared to other locators. Now this ID, name and class name, all these locators you can use if only developer defines them. There is a restriction, right? If developer do not define ID, you cannot use it, which is just we saw. And if they don't define name, you cannot use it. But XPath and CSS are independent of what dev have defined. No matter what properties you have for that element, you can still build XPath and CSS. So that means for any particular web element on this page, given any web element in this page, that could be this shop or edit box or any web element, you will be able to build XPath and CSS locators for those. Okay, no matter what properties developer have given to them. So that's why people frequently uses those by not being dependent on the properties given by dev. Okay, so let's try to understand what is XPath now and what is CSS and how to write them. So there is one simple syntax to construct CSS or XPath based upon the properties what dev have written, no matter what you have, name or ID. Okay, now let's start with CSS. So simple, this is the syntax. Tag name, attribute, value. Now, what is the tag name? Let's again pick this name edit box only. This time I will try to fill this name edit box with CSS selector instead of using name attribute. Okay. Yeah, this is the property. What is the tag name? Input. Just follow the syntax what I have shown here because I already created this document. Input, attribute. So you have class, minimum length, name, required type. These are the 4 attributes exposed by dev. You can select any attribute, but make sure you select one which looks unique. We all know that name looks unique because that is specific to this name edit box. Okay, so name is attribute. And what is the value of that name? It's still name only here. So just pass the name here. And that's it. This is the CSS. And now you can access that specific edit box with this CSS. Or you can use required type text also. But if another edit box have same attribute and value, then Selenium confuses. That means there are multiple elements found with the CSS what you constructed, right? When you say required type is text, I think for email also you have same. You see that it's same. Not present, which is okay, but I'm sure that you have another required type equals to text. So in that case, make sure you select whatever attribute you choose to fill in this syntax. Make sure it is unique. Now after creating CSS, you want to confirm whether it is correct one or not for this edit box. For that there are different type of tools available in the market, and let me start with developer tool what we have in Chrome. In that, click on console. It applies to any other browser tools as well. Every browser tool have console. You have it in Firefox and IE as well. So when you click on console, clear all this. $, and then inside you have to present your CSS inside this syntax, double quotes, and then paste the syntax what you write. Okay, name looks different here. This is what you have to use, single quote like this. Awesome. And are you sure everything is correct? I think I is small letter here. I have used capital letter, so change it to small letter. Enter. You see that you got one result, right? And move your cursor on it. You see that 0th. It means it is highlighting that. So when you hit an enter, you got this code open, and when you open this code and when you move your cursor, you see that that first edit box is being highlighted. So that means whatever the CSS you have defined is correct, right? And there is one more result. Totally 2 results are written. That means this CSS locator may not be unique. This is the first result, and second result is also present somewhere. I think this one. Yeah. So the CSS what you have written is not unique. There are 2 results returned from the web page. Now what happens when you try to give this CSS in your code? It will still pass that name into edit box. Let's see that. And let's try to understand why it worked when there are multiple elements written. Why Selenium not confused to which one it has to enter. How it entered in the first one only. Let's see. Okay, so I will comment out this for a while because same edit box, this time we are trying to use CSS selector. You see that find element by CSS selector, and this is your, you have to pass that CSS what you have written in that argument, and then say dot send keys Rahul. Alright, you can run this either right click run locators or you just select that one. Alright, it still works, and now I will tell you what happened. By default, the Selenium WebDriver scans from top left. When you ask to find element with this CSS selector, it will start scanning from top left, and when it comes down, this is the first edit box it identifies. Okay, and it immediately enters into it. If there are 4 items in your list, whatever the first one your browser receives, then it will use that. The second one what you have here is in the bottom, right? So obviously that will not be your first one where Selenium identifies it, as it scans from top left. So this is the first one Selenium identified, and it entered name inside it. So like this you can build CSS selector with the syntax what I have shown here. Tag name attribute equals to value. There are still many ways to generate the CSS. I will explain you all this by end of this section. Here I have noted all the different locators available. Alright, let's continue in the next lecture. Thank you.